Hi there, this is Tim with an Elite Dangerous video, and in this video I'm going to be looking at the Colonia system. Now this system is one of the waypoints on the Galactic Nebula expedition, which is something that I've been live streaming, and obviously this is one of the waypoints, and I arrived here during a live stream, and I just wanted to have a look at the system because the way that Elite Dangerous works is that at some point Frontier, who are the developer, could obviously change this system, how it looks, what's in it, because of its location and the fact that it is sort of storyline driven, how it was actually created. Now, the Colonia system exists because a station called Jaques Station actually jumped to this location. It misjumped when it was attempting to jump all the way from Sol, which is 22,000 light years away. As you can see, 22,000.47 light years away, and it was attempting to jump from populated space around here to Beagle Point, which is the far end of the galaxy, and it misjumped and it ended up at Colonia, where it was found by a human player. And basically, since it was found, there's been various kind of campaigns, and there's been a colonization effort within this system, and a few of the surrounding systems now have stations and things as well. Now, you can see Jaques Station there. It's actually got a community goal icon above it. You can see what's in the system. There's a few kind of planetoids, a couple of brown dwarfs, some gas giants, and obviously the system star. But Colonia 2A is interesting because it has a land base. Looking at the planet here, you can see it's not full of features, but it is actually quite mountainous when you get near the surface, although they're not very large scale mountains. And Jaques Station itself, which is 1,471 light seconds away from the main star. The first thing I'm going to show you is Jaques Station, and I'm going to focus on the engines at the rear of the station. The reason for that is because, as far as I can tell, pretty much everything else is standard pieces from a standard station that you would find in kind of more populated areas of space. But the engine compartment at the back is entirely unique, as far as I've seen, to Jaques Station, because Jaques Station is one that actually travels. You can see it at the back. There's kind of semicircles of orange at the top and the bottom. That's the engine block that you're actually looking at. It's actually quite a huge compartment. It's difficult to tell scale with a game like this, because the ship that I'm in is fairly large and the space station itself is just massive. But this is an absolutely massive engine section. Now, my reason for actually making the video is because, not that I'm unique in any way of actually visiting here, but I know that there are people out there that haven't seen it yet, don't want to make the trip 22,000 light years, but may want to take this detailed of a look at this actual station and this system. And in a moment, I'm going to go inside the station. I'm going to show you the bulletin boards, what kind of missions are available right now. Obviously, these could change in the future. Frontier could decide to do whatever the hell they want to with this station, really. They could have it jump somewhere else. They could have a war start out here and just completely destroy it. It depends what storyline they've actually set out for this system and for this station. So I kind of wanted to document, both for you and for myself, what things look like right now while I'm here on my Galactic Nebula expedition that I've been live streaming. So hope this is in some way interesting. I like a lot of the little details and things in games, and the fact that they've put a lot of work into the model here, or someone had to put a lot of work into the model here. for people like me to just kind of slowly look around is really cool. Anyway, back towards the business end of the station. Let's talk about players now. Now, there's a player group based in this system now that seem to be working pretty solidly on growing this area as much as they possibly can. As far as Jaques itself is concerned, its main business seems to be tourism. So what I've seen going in and out of this docking bay constantly are the new beluga liners, and that's because they're the main kind of tourism or passenger vessel, and that seems to be what the AI are just going in and out, constantly flying. Now you can see it says Jaques Station on there. It also says above and below, it says friends welcome. So kind of in the on the Imperial side you might see kind of hail the Emperor, things like that, but it says friends welcome right here. Now the internal area here, it looks pretty much like all stations did before version 2.2 of Elite. And if you heard the announcer there, it did mention Jaques. Now Jaques is supposed to be kind of an android who kind of travels or has traveled the galaxy, and he was going to make a jump to Beagle Point, like I said. They have some unique chatter here that you can listen to, and they obviously mention Jaques. Okay, looking through the Starport Services now. This is a quick look through the market to show you what's for sale. They do have a rare good here. Now, rare goods are something that gain in value the farther you take them from their purchased location. So, I don't know how much profit you might make if you took something 22,000 light years back to populated space that you bought here. But hopefully it's quite a lot. Now you can see there is a community goal here and a couple of people that you can take missions from, but none of them are offering me missions. There's a couple of passenger options as well, but none of them are giving me passenger missions, even though I am an ally of this station and of those contacts. A little bit strange. It does have a black market as well, and obviously you can sell exploration data here, which is actually quite nice because I have been on this long expedition, as I said, and getting here and kind of securing that data by selling it when I got here felt very good. You know, if I screw up within the next few thousand light years, then I've only lost that few thousand light years. I've not lost everything all the way back to Sol, which is actually about 2 months of travel. So it's actually quite nice to have somewhere out here that you can sell your data and claim those systems. This is what's available in the shipyard. Just a selection of 5 kind of mediocre ships there. There's nothing really high end. Now over to Colonia Hub. Now this is the Planetary Base. Quite a large planetary base based on my experience. I've not really seen many that are bigger than this, that have a bigger footprint or as many landing pads. It's quite a big base indeed.
Orbital flight engaged.
Now, as you can see, as we're rounding the planet here, when we get into the shadow side of the planet, the ambient light of this nebula that we're inside of will start to kind of light the shaded side of the planet. And you can see there are actually a few kind of geographical details on the planet's surface, a few kind of small-scale mountains, because the planet itself is, or the planetoid is actually quite small. So these aren't actually huge mountains. But as we close in on the base here, you'll see it's actually quite large, like I said. And one thing that I actually really like with Elite Dangerous 2.2 that they've brought in is that you'll actually see a lot of NPC ships just kind of flying around the planet's surface now on locations like this. And that makes things feel a lot more alive. As I get real close here and drop out of glide, you'll actually see ships start to appear and kind of be sort of flying around doing their thing. You can see on the scanner actually there's one to my left hand side.
Tango Whiskey Hotel. Flight control is in operation at this point. Submitted docking request before touching down, Commander.
And there we go, you can see a ship kind of crossing in front of me, and there's another one on the left now, there's another one straight in front. It's quite nice to have actual traffic.
Scan detected.
But one thing you have to be aware of is that they do now scan your cargo. It used to be that land bases were kind of an easy place to smuggle into because you would never be scanned. Now that has gone away. You are going to be scanned at a base like this.
Descend to flight level 200.
Landing gear deployed.
Touchdown confirmed. Dispatching ground crew. Hope we can be of service, Commander.
And a look into the station services again. You can see there's no outfitting here, there's no shipyard, but you can do repairs, refuel. And then over on the left hand side you have your market, and there's no rare good here. But if you want to pause the video, you can see what's for sale and at about what price right now. And here on the mission board I actually have some missions available, which is quite nice. Now, a lot of these are local. You can see actually there's another system which has been colonized 8.88 light years away. It's pretty cool to see that. Colonia Dream is the starport, and as you can see 8.88 light years. So you can see it's literally one jump away from me. I don't have the system data or anything like that, but it's pretty cool that this area has actually been colonized a little bit. I wasn't really aware that there was anything outside Colonia, the system, but it's pretty cool to see something kind of growing out here. You can see there's another system there 9.86 light years away, so there's actually a couple of systems by the look of it. And you do have a community goal here. There has been a pretty long stretch of community goals for Jaques Station. So if you wanted to kind of base yourself out here, it seems like Frontier are sort of supporting that with the community goals right now. Obviously, as I said, they could change that. They could destroy Jaques Station. They could do whatever the hell they want with this system and all these colonized areas. There could be a big alien invasion that wipes everything out. You never know. Now here, I actually have some passenger options right here that I would need to get, obviously, a passenger cabin from Jaques to actually do these. But you can see, these pay pretty well. There's some fantastic ones, actually. Right at the bottom there, they have a 72 million credit mission. And it's actually quite interesting to see some of the amounts on these and see how far you have to go for them. It makes exploration probably a little bit more viable for people if you can get paid a massive amount like that guaranteed for going from Sol to Jaques and you know, back and forth. Like here, this is a system right near Sol that I'm looking for with this mission. So it's about 22,000 light years away, and it's a guaranteed 20.6 million credits on top of your exploration data. Now this one, like I said earlier, it's a 72.1 million credit mission. So let's see where that goes to. It's going all the way to Sol. So if you're going back to Sol and then planning to come back to Jaques anyway, it's an absolute no-brainer to take that mission and, you know, make that money. So that's a new lesson for me when I get back to populated space, and before I leave Jaques, certainly I'm going to check and see if there's any missions that want to go to Sagittarius A, which is where I'm going to be heading to, and see if I can make some extra money, because I have no problem coming back to Jaques to drop those passengers back off again. This looks a little bit broken here. It says if legal facilities, if Merc facilities. Not sure that that's supposed to say that, but that's what's available. You have a combat bond contact, interstellar factors contact for paying fines and things. And the mission board actually locked up for me right there, an issue with 2.2. But anyway, that was a quick look at this system and its features, and I hope you found that useful, even if it's just to kind of know whether you want to head out to Jaques. It's a cool place to be. Thanks. Bye.